Mm.
All right, it is break time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the break room, man. We got we're doing an episode right here, man, called co-parenting. You know what I'm saying? The do's, the don'ts, the what works, the what don't work, and single parent dating. And we got the usual cast of characters plus a couple more, man. So you got myself, Sean, in the building. We got Ray in the building. We got Keith in the building over there. We got Whitney in the building. We got Kanita in the building. And we got our boy from the Get This D podcast.
Good.
We got Dennis in the building today, man. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
Good to have y'all on today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
Yes, thanks
What's
for having
going
me.
on?
How everybody
So we
doing?
got-
Everybody good with the COVID-19 thing? Everybody straight? No sniffles, no you know what I'm saying? No coughs, no
Nah, bro.
runny nose.
Good, we good.
Nah,
we
man,
good over
we
here.
good in this
All
thing,
right.
man.
All
Everybody
right.
doing
Grandparents had it, but they're doing good. They're doing really good. And my aunt.
That's good.
Okay,
That's
glad to hear
good.
What's up?
Yeah.
That's good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Other than that, everybody is good.
You
That's
know.
good.
All right, so you know, it's most everybody on here, I think, except for one is a parent on here.
Who
so,
not a parent?
Story.
boy.
So you know,
Are we
gonna get.
sure? No, I'm
Yeah.
joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I don't know,
I'm
man.
joking, too.
We might have to wait till his funeral. He might be like his daddy.
Ah,
You don't know.
Hey,
One might pop up on us real quick,
Right,
like,
you never
nigga,
know.
what is it going?
Never know.
man, that was low.
Gonna pop up with the same hat on.
Oh,
No,
okay.
for real.
Right.
Yeah, that's how you know it's gonna be his kid.
Exactly.
This nigga got a curl too.
And the
Oh.
curl, right there. You
Man. Hey, leave my baby alone.
Eating sour patch kids.
For real.
Right.
Had to
Eating
feel
sour
bad.
patch kids, right? But nah, man. So we are, you know, and we've all had kids, and all of us that have had them so far on here are not with that person that we had them with. What people that we had them with, plural, me. So for sure. But we want to talk about co-parent, man. Like, you know, it's been my oldest one is turning. What is she turning? 21 this year.
Jesus.
So I've been co-parenting for a while. You know what I'm saying?
You vet the game.
Man, straight up, man. Been in there doing it for a while. Had another one.
You started early.
That's turning man, bruh. Fresh out of the
Oh,
joint too, boy. Fresh out of high school, boy. Man, bruh. Fresh out of the street. But yeah, then we got another one at 14. I kind of started over again to see about 14. So, you know, and now, you know what I'm saying, got the little dude who I got with my wife. So it's actually my first time experiencing that with the person in the house. Growing up with the kid in the crib.
Oh,
So,
Turn up to marriage. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's the first time. You know, I think I did it backwards, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's what it
You got
is.
done though.
Him here now.
Man, it got done, man. You know what I'm saying?
Got done.
So my question to y'all, man, and I'll start with the ladies. I'll go with Whitney on this one. What has been the single most difficult thing that you've dealt with co-parenting or trying to get on the same page with the other parent?
Just what you said, trying to get on the same page, so that will equal to communication. Okay. The communication between myself and Kingston's father is okay. It's just not good. No, I mean, I was about to say it's not that bad, but it's just not good. Like it's just not. And I find myself trying to figure out like why. Like this doesn't have to be hard. Like okay, we made the decision. We're not gonna be together. So like it's about King. Well, it should have been about Kingston first and foremost, 100%. But you know, we're human. Well, I'm human. I'm a woman. So you know, whatever. But once we get past that. Once we get past that, it's like it's about the kids. So can we please just figure out how to do this? Obviously stuck with each other. So can we please just figure out how to do this in a very humbling, you know, peaceful environment? Because it's not good for your kid at the end of the day.
No, never is.
It's not. It affects him, and that's what I just started to realize like a couple of weeks ago. Like I can't just be saying that it's just all Kingston's dad, because I'm part of the communication too. And what we both have to realize is that this is affecting my kid. Like, I've been trying to figure out why my baby's so bad. And I'm like, it's because of me. Like, I got to get it together.
Hey,
How old is
hey, I got to clap that up.
So,
Right, you know?
I'm
For real.
trying to
I got to
wake up
clap that
and
up.
realize stuff about myself, not just him, and be like, okay, it's me too. So let me go ahead and fast backward, pedal, and try this again.
See, that right there is one of the reasons I think a lot of these co-parent issues happen, is because one or both parents can't admit when they're fucking up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
And they
true.
just, everybody's in their emotional stage for whatever reason, and then of course it's supposed to always be
Right.
about the kid, but I mean, there could be some deep-seated, like, you know, relationship issues where it's like, you know,
Exactly.
you should
Well,
have
most of the time, that's what it is. To me, in my opinion, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, most of the time, that's what it is.
And I think that's where a lot of the intensity comes from too. Like you like couples and co-parents fighting over bullshit, and you be like, damn, it's so simple. Why y'all like making this hard? And it really is because there's some emotions connected to each other.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And whether if the emotions are like, I don't know what I was about to say. Sorry. It was really good too. I might be gonna figure it out later.
Pour me a cup of that.
Good man.
Hey,
Hey,
I'm about to write my stuff down in my head. I mean, on my phone.
I wanna say something. My kids
Go ahead.
are older than your kids, so when you say communication, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I don't have communication with their dad, but they're old enough to communicate with dad themselves. One thing is, I've never put the kids in the middle of anything. I've never badmouthed him around the kids, tried not to argue around the kids, but I tried communicating after we physically separated from one another, because I knew the transition would be difficult. Because some of y'all don't know, but I have a 14-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter. So I knew the transition would be difficult. So I never put them in the middle of anything. I never said, oh, you can't see your daddy. I never like, oh, when is he coming to? They call me and they say, hey, daddy's picking us up. I say, okay, lock my door. Make sure y'all lock the door. Make sure you take your key with you. But my problem was, I felt like he should have been doing more. Still feel like that. It is what it is. And I'm not talking about financially. Financially, I choked up the financial thing a long time ago. You're going to do what you want to do. You're not going to do what you want to do. But the actually spending time with them, that's my problem, you know, because they're older. It's not like you got to change no diapers. It ain't like you got to comb no hair. I make sure they straight, they clothes together when you come. But you're not doing it, and then you blaming other things that's going on. Not me, but you blame other things in your personal situation. And I had resentment, not about what happened between us, but about your relationship with your child. You know, you got a son. So my thing is, how you gonna feel when and if he gets to a point where he's saying thank you and he's thanking some other guy? And I'm not saying it ain't got to necessarily be somebody I'm dating. It could be his soccer coach. It could be one of his friends' dad. You know, what you gonna do then? You know, so the co-parenting, I think the most common perception is we can't get along, we using the kids. But there are some instances when the kids ain't in the middle. Like you said, Dennis, people just ain't mean that I'm messing up. I'm not doing good. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I feel like he got a daughter, I feel like you should call her every night. That's what a dad should do. He ain't doing it. And then I would sit here and be mad. He ain't doing it. And then I just stopped. I just stopped because it was like, you getting mad, and then they see you getting mad, and so I just stopped. And then now I just have to be that comforting parent when they come to me and say, hey, Mom, I don't like when Dad did this, and I don't like did that. And I still got to say, well, you know, you just got to, you know, still love your dad. I had to tell myself, you got to respect your dad.
That's hard.
You got to respect your dad, right? And it's very, that was very hard. Man.
Well, I can speak to, well, I know for me and my brothers, our mothers had to do the same thing for us. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's to a point where we was like,
Because you
man,
talk,
all respect due about this, man.
right?
So
You
they
talk,
wouldn't
you
talk
talk
down all the way
to,
about them.
Right.
but as a young man, just think about it. When you were younger, you were taught to protect your mother.
Right.
You know, when daddy's not
Mhm.
around, you protect your mother. So what do you do when you see that person not being right to your mom? It's like,
Right.
Exactly.
you know,
Yep.
and then my son would say, Mom, what we doing that for? Why this is? Why would it? And I said, look, I said, let me tell you something. I said, mommy grown and mommy can handle it. Okay, I can
Right.
take the punches. But you can't
Right.
be disrespecting your dad. You cannot disrespect your dad. And sometimes I would tell him, because if he get out of pocket and he put his hands on you out of anger over me and you ain't did nothing, then it's gonna be a bigger, drama. So
Right.
I need you to still be a child and stay in a child's place. But I mean, that it's hard to put that kid in that position, because as like y'all as a boy, you like protect your mama.
Right.
When I'm not here, you protect your mama, and you stand up and trying to be a man, and then dad, what? This dude, like, who is this? Like, and just like that's the way I think he go kind of grow up. He gonna be like, my friend's daddy didn't spend more time with me than him, and there are, I don't mean to take over, but there are open instances. Like if your child plays sports, I mean, Whitney, your child is still young, but if your child plays sports, I can't keep you from going to the kids' game.
Exactly.
I can't stand at the door and play security and all that. I can't do that. So that's open to you.
Yeah.
If you don't make the initiative, what? So
and see, that right there is I hear that echoed a lot amongst a lot of single mothers, especially that there's no real beef between me and the dad. Like, I've moved on, he's moved on, he do whatever he do, I do whatever I do. But this nigga don't even take the time that he got available to even just try to make himself available. You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga don't, like, he stay 5 minutes away or he stay 10 minutes away. The nigga's in the city, he's in the neighborhood, and the nigga don't take time to come out around and 5 minutes with the kid. He don't come take him to the park. He don't come do this. The mom put him down. Or he
call.
Just as simple as call, and that's it. Yeah. Everybody got FaceTime, Skype, whatever, Zoom.
If he's a dummy and made plans with the kid and don't follow up. Now that shit there will piss a parent. And then the mother, you gotta take your kid and respect him. You know what I'm saying? Day after day, time after time, you seeing they disappointed faces every damn time he calls telling you, I'm gonna come get him, I'm gonna come pick him, I'm gonna come do this for him. And you like, look, dude, nigga, you keep saying this shit. It ain't me you gotta prove it to. It's the kid you gotta prove it to.
But see, here's the thing.
And then time after time, they keep fucking it up.
Right, and here's the thing. I was just in that same boat. But then I said, stop telling me. Don't tell me. You're not going to keep it. Because really, you disappoint me. You don't show up, you go talk to them. So when you talk to them and tell them you coming, you don't come, they see you not coming. Because it was, man, I couldn't even, and I was like, I kept on saying to myself, what in the world am I doing? This nigga still making me mad.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. Y'all got phones.
Yeah.
I said, call you that.
Mom, hey, Keith, what you got in on that, man?
For me, actually, the roles were reversed. Me and my son's mother, we didn't get along at first after the initial breakup. My son will be 20 next month, actually. So for me,
big ass kid.
So for me,
right?
They got grown men and women.
Yeah, they got the big ass kids.
Right.
Right. But for me, it was different. It was more like bitterness after we broke up. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of hostility between both of us on that issue. And it was times I would try to come see my son, do things with him, and y'all know personally how it was. You know what I'm saying? I would try to make plans, go see him, be with him, do things with him. And the call stopped, wouldn't answer the phone, blocked my number at one point. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
Moved without telling me sometimes, And as time went on, I mean, time heals wounds, they say. You know, I guess that's true and I'm mature. You say, hey, we got a son there. You know what I'm saying? It's going to come a point he's going to need me. So as time went on, communication started opening it up. You know what I'm saying? He got to the point, he was calling me on his own at one point. He used to see out of the house and go to a payphone time and call me from a payphone, hey, dad, da-da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? What's up? We'll chop it up from there. You know what I'm saying? Then relationship grew to the point now we like best friends now at this point.
That's
he calls me every day, texting me, FaceTiming me.
I got a
night,
question.
come by the house. Quick.
I got a question for you. But how long did that take? How long did that take before
Years.
he actually got to
Right.
Years. Oh my God!
Because
it was heated for a while. For a while, it was heated.
That's hard.
I would say, I know on my part, like I've had, it was harder for me to understand how much the time aspect meant because so growing up like I did, it was like, okay, hey man, when I first found out my baby mama was pregnant, I was on my way to school. I was going down to I was going down to Clark. I was about to go to Clark. I took a semester off and I'm legit like getting ready to start packing to go down there for the spring semester. And she was like, yo, I'm pregnant. I'm like, what? I'm like, shoot.
That ain't what you said. That ain't what
everybody. I was like, oh shit. Like real talk, like, you know, it was killing me. So,
Right.
So we was everybody was telling me like, nah, man, still go ahead and go down there, man. This is your education, your future. You need to go to school. And I'm like, nah. I stayed here and I was like, I gotta work. So my thing was I always felt like I saw my mother struggle. And I was like, you know, one thing I'm not gonna have my son, my kid, whatever it was at the time, didn't know, but I'm saying whatever my kid is, they not gonna have to want for nothing. And so because I always thought I tried to get stuff, tried to do this, tried to go do basketball camps, tried to do baseball camps, and mama couldn't afford it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like wasn't no help. So my thing was, man, I gotta go to work. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather said, hey, a man always work and take care of his family. And so I was always doing that. But the other part, I didn't even realize it probably until like halfway. I would always spend time with, you know what I'm saying, spend a little time with her, especially my oldest one, you know what I'm saying? Me and her mom was living probably about a good 4-5 blocks from each other, you know what I'm saying? So I would be able to go get her whenever I wanted to and everything else until, you know, we start having some, you know what I'm saying, issues, relationship issues and stuff like that. It got kind of a little more difficult. But until all the bitterness got out, then once everybody moved on, it was back to normal. But it was more so the time part that I, you know, because I was like, man, I got to work. And so I was always working, and then working in the industry. I was working in a restaurant, man. My hours was crazy. So it was never like, hey, man, I got this day to do it. I can go over here this day. I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss that. But I was like, yo, I'm going to go ahead and spend this money. I'm going to do this. We're going to do that. You know, I'll make sure she got. And so I didn't even get the time aspect, honestly, until I started dating my wife, and she was like, yo, she's like, I know you get them, but you gotta spend a little bit more time with them. You know what I'm saying? A little bit
That's
more time.
That's a real woman. All right.
Yeah. And so I'm like, well, you know, so I'm like, man, but I do this and do that. She's like, nah, but they, especially having 2 girls, it's like they need that. And like I said, it never popped into my mind the fact that, oh man, this is what I need, because I never felt like, oh, I needed my dad to be there. I was mad because I didn't. My mama had to struggle because I couldn't go do this. I couldn't get these J's. I couldn't go to I couldn't do this. So it's like, you know, couldn't go to these basketball camps. I couldn't play Little League because it's gonna cost so much money. So it's like, okay, what am I to do? So I always thought about, hey man, financially, I'm gonna take care of them. You know what I'm saying? But the time part is where like it started sinking in. Like
very important.
With her growing up with her dad in the house, it was like he was always gone, but when he was here, he made sure he spent this time. You know what I'm saying? And he was with us and knowing it. And I'm like, okay. So then that's when the balance started coming. So, you know, I'm going to try to get you, make sure I'm off these days. Or if I do got to work, you with her and I come home, you know what I'm saying? We're going to sit and watch a movie. We're going to do this, do that, whatever the case may be. But that was the hardest thing for me to learn was actual time part. What's up, Anita?
I like that you
said
that.
No. I was moving something off my screen.
I do like that you said that though, because it just makes me realize that I have to be patient maybe and just wait for it to click. And I guess like what everybody else was saying is I do get upset. Is it Kanita?
Kanita.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, Kanita. When you was like, you don't understand why you get so frustrated and so mad. And that's what a lot of my issue is. And that's why I said our communication is off, because anytime that I feel like you're not really doing what you're supposed to be doing and stepping up, like you have a boy, you know what I'm saying? And he is surrounded by all women. Why wouldn't you want that connection with your son, your only son, your firstborn son? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it irritates me because I'm like, is this And I know this is based on my decision to be irresponsible, but at the same token, he's here. So it's like, if you say you're going to be in his life, but now I realize because of you and your testimony to sign.
We're not naturally nurturers. You know what I'm saying? So some things guys more so, a lot of guys that I know more so, we're definitely, when they say product and environment, is more so guys than it is women. You know what I'm saying? So when we come from these,
it's for y'all. It's for y'all, and I hear what you're saying. Products of your environment, but
each case is different,
let me add,
you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not, and I'm not even saying for mine. I think where Whitney, and I guess I'm coming from too, is the want to be there. Like, I understand what you're saying, that you didn't realize time was important at first. I mean, I think that I know that women are more of the nurturers, but, and you'll see this more, I think, Jason, because you have a boy now. You know what I'm saying? And you know, okay, I got to teach him how to really be a man. I got to do that.
Right.
So I don't know if Dennis have girls or boys or whatever, but
yeah, boys.
for me and Whitney, it's like, why doesn't it click that you just want to be there? Like, why do I have to tell you to be? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Why am I at a time
Dennis,
where,
what you think?
It make a lot of sense. I think it's a few factors, and I'm not making no excuses. Excuses, but this is a bigger. Some of these issues are not just surface issues. Yeah, on the surface, you would love for a person to just birth a child and just naturally want to be around that kid, naturally want to pour into them, naturally want to protect them, naturally want to play with them. But if you ain't been raised like that, you might not have all those characteristics of a nurturer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up with my dad. I grew up hugging. My dad hugged me. My dad kissed me. When I was grown, my dad was kissing me. Yeah. So it's nothing for me to show affection to my kids.
You a Wayans?
But I also understand that there's a balance.
You a Wayans?
I hope so.
Say I win.
Wayans money.
Man, I hope so. But yeah, I think a lot of guys, they don't have that. Sometimes it does kick in. You know, sometimes life happens, somebody gets in their ear, you know, saying drop some knowledge on them, and then it clicks. But sometimes it's just not in them, you know what I'm saying? And that's no excuse, but everybody ain't meant to be a father. Everybody ain't meant to be a mama.
That's true.
That's true.
You know? And you can't.
You know, that just cut me with a knife. I guess I just picked the wrong one, huh?
No, I give women real talk. I give women so much credit on this part, because even when you're married and you're growing up in households where people are married, you go look at your grandparents. Like, I had my grandparents that were married until my grandfather died. You know what I'm saying? But it was, the mother always takes care of everything that's there. You know what I'm saying? And that goes from how it was from all the generations on down to now. It's starting to change a little bit, where women require more from that man. Where what then was, when you're growing up, it wasn't like that. As long as he went to work, he paid his bills, he was there in the house, but he was there to kick somebody's ass when it had to be happening. You know what I'm saying? He acted up. Hey, I'm about to go tell your daddy about to go, you know. But now it's starting to change. The dynamic of the home is changing. So it's like, okay, well, you know, I need you to be here. So I need you to do this with them. I need you to sit and read with them. I need them to see. And it wasn't. You didn't have to do that back then. So when we growing up and looking at our grandparents or looking at older uncles or our father, that mother didn't require them to do the things that we have to do, that you guys are requiring now. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so it's because you guys pick up the slack so much, and it's like when you, especially in the house with them, you pick up the slack so much. It's like, you know what? You not even worried about it, because you let us go. We come in and work. We be tired. And they be like, go ahead and take care of what you need to take care of. I got them. Blah 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 blah. Then you go ahead and chill with them when you get a chance to, and then you go ahead and put them to sleep, and boom, boom. You think that we put in that hour, 2 hours is cool. Being not with somebody, you go get them on the weekend, you put in them 2-3 days, and then you bring them back. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but during the week, it's like, okay, I'm doing this, and this is what's important. It's not to say that the kids are not important. It's just they're not with me every single day. You know what I'm saying? And as far as even with the calling, I don't call every day. You know what I'm saying? I still go by the time especially being out here, my doggone time, I'll be like, man, I missed the call. Next thing you know, it's about 10 o'clock Chicago time. All right, man, I ain't calling now. It's supposed to be bedtime. You know what I'm saying? So just even to check up, but I have to do more even still with my youngest daughter. I got to call and make sure she's turning in homework. We had a rough year with school year. So we like, hey, a mama call, hey, man, you need to do something about this, dude. We're like, yo, I'm in California, Joe. Like, you know what I'm saying? What? Like, ain't too much I can do. You know what I'm saying? But now I got to get on the phone and make sure hey, send me this homework. Send me a picture of this being done. Send me this. And I got to go check on it. I get the emails from the school and saying this, she didn't turn this in, But now it's like, okay, listen, if I got to come to Chicago to kick your ass, I'm about to come to Chicago and kick your ass. So that's just going to be that. You know what I'm saying? And I told her,
she going to get it, too. You got to go all the way to Chicago. That's going to be
But Josiah knows, and Josiah knows me, I'm old school because my grandmother raised me. So I'm old school where I didn't mind that whole being up at night with the kids and changing pampers and doing this and combing the hair and all of that. I guess in my head as a dad, when they're younger, there are certain roles that I expect for you to, my expectations were to be a dad in, like show him that, you know, a man has jobs around the house, you know, son, take that garbage out, or, you know, you take him to the barbershop. I shouldn't be in the barbershop with him. Now, if you can't take him, I'm going to take him. It ain't like, oh, no, you can't take him. So in my head, the want, like me and Whitney are saying, yes, we're the nurturers. But at some point, your children get to an age where they need from the other parent. And that's when it's time for you to step up. So for my son who's going through his adolescent phase, I can't honestly, only thing that I have been able to teach my son is to respect women. Okay. I can't get in there with him. I ain't saying I can't, but I don't know how comfortable he's going to feel getting there talking about other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I've how he's feeling, how his body is changing, those things that I can't even relate to him with. Now I got the daughter who needs her dad at this age, in my opinion, as a protector because he's no longer in the house. So that's why I was saying you need to call the things that you were doing, you know, and I'm just going to use this as an example, Valentine's Day. Every year he got her a gift when we were in the house. If it was a teddy bear or whatever. This year we weren't in the house together, and there wasn't even a phone call.
Yeah.
Oh. Now if you're doing it to spite me, yeah, I'm pissed off. But here's the thing: we're not fighting, we're not arguing, we're not doing anything. But it's like it seems like it's like I need you to step up to the plate, not for me. We're done. I'm holding my own. I'm doing what I got to do. But there are times in a child's life, whether they be a girl, where they need the parents to step up. Like he may or may not get his heart broken. Who knows who he's gonna run to? He may come to me and say, "Mom, well, she said this, and I don't know what that means." Cool, that's my turn to step up. But then he may come and say, "Yeah, she said this. I don't know what that means." Then I need you to step up. You know, that's all we saying. I mean, that early on in life, I'm not even tripping. Yes, I'll go up to the school. Yes, I'll talk to the teacher. I'll go to the PTA meetings, to the band concerts. I'll do all of that. But there's a time in everybody's life. There was a time in my life, my grandmother couldn't teach me what my uncle could show me. You know what I'm saying? My uncle was like my dad. So my grandmother couldn't teach me those things. But nurturing, yeah, I got that naturally. But, hey, don't let this nigga run over you. Hey, don't let this dude do you like that. My grandma one time, my grandma was like, don't do nothing, don't bring no grandbabies in here. That's it. You know.
But ain't nothing that y'all could do about that though.
Period.
Ain't nothing that y'all could do about that. You know who changed our dad?
But as a nurturing mother, that's what makes you mad.
Yeah.
Because you can't do nothing about it, but the kids are suffering.
Yeah.
But you know who changed our dad?
It ain't me.
Us.
Who?
It was us. It didn't have nothing to do. It was the way that the kids responded to you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
That will check any nigga, period.
Pure satisfaction, okay?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Some of my best moments.
So the
rejection. And then he be like,
we give it'll change that because to have your child come into a certain way. My brothers know we was at a point where, hey, bro, we went to confront this nigga, Joe. Like we had
oh yeah.
Hey, we had Louisville Slugger in the car.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We down the we up the street about to get at a nigga, and this is in high school. You know what I'm saying? And we about to get at a nigga like dead ass. Like, bruh, this ain't what you want right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
that'll put Pops on the right road.
Real talk, like, hey, bro,
I'm happy about that. That's good.
You can give, but see,
it's tried.
You can give life all day long. That don't make you nobody's father to make you respect who that person is. I'm not gonna respect you because of the title that you got. You know what I'm saying? Respect is earned. And as a parent, we start earning the respect the day that child comes in this earth. And when they keep seeing you and seeing you and seeing you and seeing, they start getting their respect and everything about you. If you're not there, bro, it's certain things you can't do. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, but the thing that's gonna cut a nigga is when that son or that daughter come at them the wrong way and be like, you wasn't there.
And it be the truth.
How can you talk to me?
And it be the truth. That's when it
no, but
I'm
you have to be ready to own up to that too, because you can't. So a prime example, Jason, you were there when Kingston's dad came to get him, and he had a whole entire fit, okay, like a whole fit, like one of them kids just kicking, screaming, acting. I think he was being dramatic, but still, it was just like pure satisfaction. Because I'm like, this is what you get. But then he says, so has he still been sleeping with you? What does that have to do with him not wanting to go with you? Yeah, he been sleeping with me. He eat with me. You know, we wake up together. I take him to daycare. I pick him
was you there?
We do everything together. Yes, you're 100% correct. Yes, but
sorry, that just blew me.
You want to finally realize that he needs you. He wants to be able to be around you, see you. Like, come on now. What is it going to take?
I had to be real. Like it's funny because my youngest daughter. So her first probably 8 to 10 months on this earth, I probably spent little time with her. Like I could probably count on my hand. And it was to the point though, I got suspended for work. And so I was gonna be off for the next 2 weeks. So I'm like, you know what? All right, I'm about to go get her. I'm about to go get man, this girl, kind of like what Kinks did, screamed her ass off. She cried literally for 2.5 days. 2.5 days. This girl cried. I'm at my mother's house.
She don't know you.
She like, hey, come on, just let her come up. Like, nah, she gonna get to know me. I sat there and it hurt me. It broke me. I'm like, bruh, she will not stop crying like this. And I ain't never had to, like Maya, man, I ain't never had no issue with her. Kaya, she was like, nah, bruh, but I promise you, she woke up that third day, was like, this nigga still here?
Like, he ain't going nowhere.
And I swear, I brought her back home the next week, and she didn't even want to go back home. You know what I'm saying? Like and ever since then, like me and her been tight. Like ever since then, me and her been tight. And I was like, okay, I can't do this. Like this really meant something. Like that's when it hit home me. That time was like, it was like, bruh, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like it was 10 months. That baby, like babies let you know, out of sight, out of mind. They ain't thinking nothing.
Baby through Tyler.
Kingston still be ready to come home, so I don't know what homeboy be doing.
They'll
come home. He'd be like, "Yeah, I want to come to your house." I'm like, "Dang."
But that's what you saying. I noticed that with mine, because he has a group chat with them, just them. I ain't on it. But here's the thing. He texted. And the girl ain't responding. And then when I say, well, you know, Zaria, why you not responding? She's like, oh, well, you know, I mean, he's okay. Yeah, I feel like he's okay. You know, it's not like, you know, she, you know, because in his text, and some of the text messages was, you know, hey, y'all could call me and check on me, da, da, da. And she's like, I mean, I feel like he's the parent, you know, Jasan's heard my daughter talk. She's different. She's like, I feel like he's the parent. Like, why isn't he calling checking on me? And I have no rebuttal.
Yeah, smart.
Because she's right. Yeah, you know, I have no rebuttal. I have no, you know, I have none. I'm like, well, yeah, you right, but you know, then I feel like I'm not mad at it, but now I'm trying to stick up for him, and you know, and it's just that's the part I got to get through. That's the space I'm in now. The letting go, letting you, whatever you do is between you and him. It's also making me realize that in our marriage, I did the let's do this, let's do that, family this. You should go to that. You should do this. You know, I did that because now he's not. Yeah, because now he's not doing it. You know, he's not doing it. It's like, and it's I'm like, it's unfortunate, and that's the part I guess that kind of hurts me is that I want them to have a relationship with their dad. I really do, but I don't see him stepping up to the plate with them, and I don't want them, as a mother, you don't want them to miss out. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to miss out on a relationship they could have with their dad. I think it would be unfortunate, but at the same time, I think it would be his loss too. You know, it's like
I respect the hell out of you mothers who, you know, despite all the bullshit that you're dealing with the other parent, you're still, you know, encouraging the kids to keep communicating with them. You're still, you know, trying to discipline the kids and saying, hey, don't disrespect your dad. I know he's full of shit or whatever the case is, but don't disrespect him. And you might have heard me having a conversation and it got a little heated, but don't disrespect. That's your dad. You know, no matter what happens, that's your dad. That's I can't tell you the amount of maturity that takes. Yeah. Because you're sitting there watching your kid go through hurt and pain, and you know they're gonna go through more hurt and pain. And you know they don't end until they get older and can speak up for themselves. But in the meantime, you still trying to save face for this nigga, and he don't even realize that you saving face for him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He don't even realize you covering his ass. Despite him not being
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He don't realize that you still encouraging the kids to communicate. So when your daughter doesn't text him back, you know, a lot of guys get into their feelings and start feeling like, oh, well, shit, the mama probably got to him. And in some cases, the mama do. Which is my next point. I hate it when women do that.
I bit my tongue. I bit my tongue, Dennis, because I wasn't talking to him. I bit my tongue and called him and said, hey, just want to let you know, this is how she's feeling. It's Valentine's Day. You didn't call her, blah, 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 da, da, da. And he was like, oh, well, yeah, I didn't mean to. I just forgot. Now my expectation, so you gotta let go of the expectations with you gotta let them go. My expectation was when I hung, and I called, I got one back. I called him from her phone so he could know I asked her first, do you want me to call your dad and talk to him? She said, it's okay if you do. But now what I did was, before that, I said, I went to the store and I bought flowers and I had her brother give her flowers because it was Valentine's Day. I called that teaching the brother, this is what you do. And I called that teaching her, this is what she should expect. Okay, that's what I called it. And not because it was something new, not because I was trying to upstage him. That's how we taught the kids together. So I called, still trying to say, I want to let you know how she's feeling. Now, my expectations was when I hang up the phone, he's going to call her. He's going to apologize. The next day, he's going to bring that teddy bear over. Nothing. Nothing. So now it's like, I ain't even calling you no more. You know, because you feel like you leave. As you said, I know women who are trifling with their kids. I know women who will tell you, be here to pick the kid up and then won't show up. You be there to pick the boy up and they won't be there. I know a woman who the boy came to pick his kids up and she had a warrant for his arrest. Stop playing with me. I know trifling. I know trifling. Had him locked up Valentine's Day weekend because he was married. He married somebody else. I know trifling. But karma will come and bite you in your ass so quick. I'm not gonna play with it. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm giving and I'm getting. So I'm not gonna put them in the middle of no foolishness. But then it's just like, okay, and I'm trying to keep the lines of communication open. Then then you don't do nothing. You don't address it. You don't do any of this. And then that's when we get mad. That's when I get mad because I'm giving 150% trying to keep this line open. Despite I'm done with what you did. I handled what you did. I handled our situation.
As always.
But we got two live individuals that you got to step up to the plate with, homie. Like, you know,
get your ish together.
Hey, I'll tell you this. What y'all doing? And like I said, I've definitely seen you, Whitney, and you know, with the situation and what you're talking about, Kanita. I know one thing that my mom did for me was like, you know, I was that kid that got left at the front door, fell asleep at the front door waiting for daddy to come pick me up. You know what I'm saying?
That's gonna have me
And
pulling
so
out the boxing gloves.
I've had.
Baby,
I mean,
I'm going to jail.
they know I've had times where. Now the funny part is, me and my brothers, we all at the same church, and we would go in and I would see them on Sunday. They would come in, hey man, what happened to you? I'm like, what you mean what happened to me? Like, yeah, we was at Johnny. Johnny said your mom had to do such and such. Wait, what? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, he was supposed to be picking me up after school Friday. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you didn't. So what that was, and so I would get mad at my mom, like dead ass. I would have resentment towards her. So she said, you know what? This is what we're gonna do. You're gonna talk to him. So once you tell him whatever, then that's y'all relationship, because I'm not gonna ruin my relationship with my son because of what you're doing. So he's gonna learn who you are for himself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna down you, but he's gonna learn who you are for himself. So what you guys are doing is the right thing. You can't step in the middle and don't break that communication. But you have to let him be the one to disappoint that child to the point where it comes to the point where, like, yo, I'm not even dealing with you. It'll hit home when a nigga start calling that nigga. Hey, when he gonna pick up Kingston, he be like, hey, check what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's like.
You know he'll do it.
It hits different.
But now,
you know, now ain't no daddy no more. It is different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But now let me.
Ain't know it.
Aside from,
he's mean to him too. I'd be like, Kingston, stop.
I need an outside opinion, and Whitney may be able to help me with this. I don't know if the guys can.
Probably.
But what about the family?
Woo, girl, hallelujah. Yes, Lord Jesus, the family. Let me just tell you something about the family. It's not going down. It's not happening. Let me just say.
No, wait.
And the only person, what? Okay, ask your question.
Wait. My question was expectations of the other family. I mean, I know I'm probably showing all my cards, but even though in my situation, even though he and I are together, I feel like the family cut my kids off. You know, and when I say that, like, they don't get invited to things. My son plays soccer. He's actually really good. And I sent out a message to, you know, multiple people in the family and was like, you know, here's his schedule this weekend, da 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 da. 2 people showed up. And it wasn't even 2 adults. It was like they cut, you know, his cousin. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel bad because when I go to these games, you know, he doesn't play for the school, he plays for outside league. When I go to these games, I see kids' parents there. I see kids' grandparents there. I see sometimes aunts and uncles that they came in from out of town. So in some instances, I want to address it. In other instances, I don't.
That's his.
And I think maybe Jason and them got kind of a little bit more insight because they know the family, but you know,
I would say leave it alone, because you know what? The one person that never turned their back on us was our grandmother. Like, our father's mother, it don't matter. She ain't miss birthdays. She ain't miss Christmases.
Yeah.
She was the one. Even while he was out being an ass, she was that one. I mean, I promise you, and they know, and no lie, on her deathbed, she had us come into this room, and she told us, she said, hey, I know what he's been. I just want y'all at some point, not today, not tomorrow, at some point, to just give him a chance. He'll come around.
Real.
He'll come around. And and at the time, I'm 19, 20, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And this is just what it was. So she never, she knew her son, but she was like, hey, she was a realist about it. You know what I'm saying? But she was like, hey, man, but she never got, I mean, we all had the same wallet. We all had the same bracelet. We all had the same this, because what she bought. We didn't get gifts from him, but we got something from her. I don't care if I ain't been down there, if I didn't go down to that church, and it was, if I ain't see her for Christmas, I came down there in April. Nigga, she every Sunday, just in case I was coming down there, she had it in her purse, ready to give me my gift. You know what I'm saying?
And it was from her. Yeah.
And it was from her. And that was it. But everybody else, man, you can't expect, especially with certain families, man, you can't you can't expect certain things. The one thing that everybody get out of every situation is expectation. Like expectations need to be thrown out the window because what you think because of what you done been through, what you think it should happen, is not what somebody else thinks should happen. Like Taylor, you had a great dad growing up, so you expect this, you expect that. You seen your uncles, you seen that, so it's like, oh, this is what I expect. It ain't like that. Every dude ain't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure ain't.
I expect it. I expect it not because I don't expect it because that's what I expect it because I'm doing what Dennis said, and what I'm doing is I'm leaving the door so open. I'm not making any constrictions. I'm leaving the door open for y'all to walk through the door. That's what I know, and that
You can bring a horse to water, can't make him drink.
Right.
But you can't make him drink.
Yeah.
I let that little whole aspect go a long time because number one, I don't have time to keep caring about every single thing. Like if y'all don't care to be in his life, I can't care for you. It's just like I have to get to a point where I cannot let it bother me or consume me because I got a little boy to raise. Y'all don't want to help and be a part of his life. Fine, he's cool and he's awesome, and you ain't got to be a part of this awesomeness, okay?
Yeah.
So I just like whatever, but I still do it right. Like I leave the door open. I do leave the door open. Like I leave it open. They can call if they want to. They don't call on birthdays. Like nobody ever wants to get together and just see him ever or nothing like that. The only time they see him is if his dad has him, and so.
So my question is. So I got a question. Keith, you can ask. What changed in that dynamic between you and your baby mother? Like what point did it get to where it's like, okay, you know what, this is when did just the rubber meet the road, man? It was like this is where it's gonna change, and then this is how we gonna function from here on out. You know what I'm saying?
$20 question.
For me, it started when he was probably like 12, 13 years old, teenage years. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, when basically he needed me around more. You know what I'm saying? I said, there was times I would try to go get him, spend time with him, and I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Every time I try, I get sent off. Might return my phone calls, texts, whatever the case be at the time. And around maybe 13 years old, things started heating up. He started going outside, hanging with a little crew he's hanging with. By that time, it's girls around, you know what I'm saying? Other homies around.
Nephew.
You know, guys do that age, you know what I'm saying? So,
Son Anthony Sanders.
Right.
all that's coming into play. To times when he'll miss curfew, you know what I'm saying? So she's calling me and she's like, yo, your son missed curfew. I'm like,
look, he look like he ain't playing.
Right.
He say what?
Now she need you to get in there behind. That's
right. So here I come playing daddy. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's up? What's going on? Why you out hanging out? What's this all about? Oh, Dad, she can't let me do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? I got friends I want to hang out with. They don't have curfews. They come in, they get ready. I said, well, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You have a curfew. Your mom said you got to be at a certain time at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at the time. You're going to be in the house. Point blank period. You know, and I had to get his butt a couple times after that. Just be real about it. Slack a couple times for that. But as time went on, that bond got close between me.
Yeah, right.
Kingston around.
Right. Got the enforce.
So after that, he would call me, tell me about girl trouble. He trying to see a girl, the girl he like, whatever. What should I say to her? Mm-hmm. She's saying this, what does this mean? This, and I talked to mama, but she's not telling me anything. So I'm gonna call you. What do I do?
Supposed to do. Daddy talk.
Real father and son conversations.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Then we had, the infamous birds and the bees talk. They call it now. We had that talk.
Yeah, the how to put on the rubber conversation.
Oh gosh, what? No.
Yeah, it's coming. Like, look,
do they come to the mom or the dad for that? It's the dad, right?
Whitney, don't sit over there naive.
No,
baby.
please don't. Please.
As soon as they start talking about
man,
what?
Yes.
Look, I'm over here in quarantine. And I had two white girls at the door.
Oh, you got some Becky's?
Becky's birthday.
That's all I got. So
they got the pigtails.
Right.
If I see one more baby blue eyes, I'm gonna lose it. And you got look. I'm trying to whisper, and you got a black, thin, athletic boy too.
Oh, that's a white girl's dream.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
What's up, Tori?
See, they've been raised right. They've been raised right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, like, look, my uncle,
They have standards.
my uncle was a thug. He told me the whole game. So when I got out here with him and they started popping up, I was like, I was like, I said, damn, ain't no black girls at the school. He was like, yeah, they there, you know. I'm like, you know, they'll do anything. I'm like,
yeah, especially if you're an athlete, a good athlete on top of that, a star athlete. Oh,
right.
Yeah, and he popular. He outgoing like me. So
yeah.
Oh.
Matter of fact, so my question is now, so since you brought that up with the little people's coming through, like, how do you start in being a single parent in the dating game? Like you step back out.
The dating game sucks. The dating
step back out here.
Dating sucks ass.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's crappy. Okay. let me tell you something.
Look, can't even talk about it.
Yeah, where do you start?
I was married for 15 years. Okay. 12 of them were good.
That's good.
So the last three was a lot of therapy and getting yourself together. So all of the realization of you got to be happy first before you can be happy with somebody else. Then you have the kids, you got to take that into consideration. Now, I'm a single mother, so you got to take all that into consideration. But just even getting out there, let me tell you the one thing, I haven't dated in 20 years. So a lot of this is like crazy.
On Tinder,
one
girl.
thing of mine that I can't stand, that I cannot stand is this communicating through text message, DM, Facebook.
Oh, so you're a talker. You got to talk.
Yeah, you're a talker. Yeah.
Oh my! I just feel like if you like somebody, you should want to hear their voice. I'll even take FaceTime every now and then. It don't have to, but that texting or in the DM, you can't have a real conversation with nobody in the DM.
Different era,
you can't. You know,
different era right now, man.
Niggas start what do they call it? The spell check me all off, and you be like, "Did you mean that? Like, what do you mean? Like,
he meant it."
And don't get the
if
one
he ain't fixed it, he meant it.
Right, they can't spell. Then they using emojis, and then they using the wrong emojis. I was just like,
I like to use emojis.
Yeah, but we females. When a guy do it,
okay.
It's too much. You know, it's just that's what I don't like is there's not that same. I'm not talking about same, but there's not a lot of communication. We ain't gotta talk every day. Oh, we should.
No, we talking every day. If you trying to be my boo, what you doing?
You might not have time.
Wait, no,
you don't got time to date me. What?
Every day?
Do not
wait.
Out.
What y'all gonna talk about every day?
Is this a job?
Do not. Is this an interview?
You don't want to talk every day?
How long?
When we first started,
how long?
Like, what part can we start talking every day?
Yeah.
How long? I'm straight turned off if you ask me out in the text message.
That's different.
Or
okay, now I can see that.
I'm straight turned off. I'm straight turned off. You know, hey, I literally was just like talking to this guy and messaging, and I literally said, hey, we don't have to keep talking and messaging. If you want to call me, call me. He was like, okay, but he never called me. That didn't work out.
Run.
It ain't.
Go the other way.
And then, I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't know the age gap no more with me because I haven't done this in a long time. So I'm like, this is my limit. But then I hit that limit. I'm like,
whack.
He ain't got no. You know, yeah. And see, here's the thing. It all depends on the person too, because when you in your 20s and your 30s, you looking and you maybe or may not be looking to settle down, start a family, buy a home. Now I'm 42 and that ain't what I'm looking for. I got my own job.
You stupid nigga. Damn nigga.
You know I was up there with mine.
I knew I'm talking about Tori back there. So damn nigga.
You ain't that far off, Tori. Shut up.
Hey, I know. I'm being quiet. I'll be quiet now.
You show back because I was finna light you up, okay? Grandpa, you already know I was coming for you. He fixed that real fast.
Unless you just signed and you want to go back and start over. So I'm not having no more kids.
Man, bruh.
I got a job. You ain't got to buy no car. You ain't got to pay for no house. So now that I have myself. So now what am I doing? What am I looking for? I'm really just.
You don't look, girl. Just let the good Lord bring it to you.
But you can't even talk on the phone.
They ain't out there.
They can't even talk on the phone.
And then the real fine, dark-skinned black dudes on Facebook don't even exist. I don't even know where them guys is at.
Girl, they on Wish. That's a Wish. That's a Wish account. That ain't real. That's a Wish account. Ain't nobody that fine on Facebook.
Oh my God.
That's a Wish account. You can order that man.
Here we go.
You can order that man if you want to. When you
You
get him
can order that
Chinese and skinny. Don't do it.
Put them in the cart.
Right.
Catfish is real.
Hey, so Dennis, what was like? So I know you got a younger little dude. So with going back out to dating, like what would you look for in that person? Like how would you like how much does their interaction with your kid that when that point comes along? You know what I'm saying? How much does
When
that
does that
make
point
or
come
break?
first?
When does that point come? Well, for me, it was when I was dating my wife, man. I think it was like anybody I dated, they really didn't be around my kids. So if I had my kids that weekend or whatever days, whatever, I didn't really deal with them like that. So they knew what was up. When I started, I'll probably say about a month or so, 2 months in, where I was like, all right, I'm feeling this person. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, all right, let me see how they are around. You know what I'm saying, my girls. So, because you got to see that. I can't take somebody serious. They're not, they're not functioning around my girls.
One question. I'm gonna get Tori in this one. Tori, if you were dating a girl who had kids, when would you want to meet the kids?
I will let her decide that. Really.
Okay.
I don't want to put like any pressure on her to like, No,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I will let her decide, when and where I'll meet the kids, all that stuff. So
any nigga too thirsty.
Do you think it's a time? Do you think it's a time frame though? Do you think it's a time? Forget you. Do you think it's a time frame when I say, meaning if you're dating somebody, like say you're dating somebody for about 4 months, okay, and it's exclusive, because I know you got to say that, exclusive.
Yeah.
It's not a situationship. I just learned situationship. I just learned that word.
Oh, you just learned that one?
I didn't even know what that was.
They didn't have that back when you was dating, Joe. They didn't have situationships. We was just playing. We was just playing back then.
That was called friend with benefits. That's what somebody told me back in the 90s. It was
or we just talking. We talking.
We kicking it.
Right.
Just friends.
Right.
So say y'all date like 4 months or whatever, and would you look at it and say, well, man, she ain't asked me. I mean, I guess it depends on how you feel, but she ain't really asked me to like meet the kids, and then not even formally meet. Maybe go out. Maybe you out eating and you pop up. You say, hey, this is my friend Tori. Blah blah blah. Not formally sit down. Hey, this is the person I'm dating. Because kids are at different ages. Like Whitney's son would be like, I don't know this nigga. Whereas my son would be like, I don't know this nigga. So
right.
That's what I'm saying. So would you feel some kind of like, is it 6 months you think maybe you should, or what?
I mean, I would definitely it would cross my mind, like if we like 6 months in and I haven't met anybody, then I will be wondering like what is
still with the baby daddy.
Right. That's what I would be
thinking.
That's what I would be thinking.
Yeah. It's definitely possible.
Man,
that
for real.
Still spending the night over there, nigga.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I definitely
in this car. That's what it is.
My eyebrows will definitely go up. I'll be looking like, hold on here. Wait a minute. I ain't met nobody yet.
Wow.
Yeah, so After
You
six, I
either
mean,
ashamed
by
of me
6
or you're
months.
ashamed of your child. So I don't know how to look at
That's
it.
what I'm like, do you even have a kid?
And then you gotta be careful if you're a single guy. You gotta be careful if you're a single guy, like inquiring about her kids, because they could also
Exactly. That's
freak
tricky.
her out.
It's tricky.
You know what I'm saying? You might end up. She might get the thought in her head that, oh, he loves kids. He wants to step in. He wants to step up.
Right,
you know
son.
He wants to fill in the position. You know what I'm saying?
Daddy
So
Shark.
because sometimes they can run with that. Not saying women, but some women will.
Or run the other way, because if I'm a dude, I'm not asking a lot about your kids at first, because I'm asking you how they doing and stuff like that. But as far as trying to see them, because nowadays, man, you never know. Because any nigga that's thirsty to meet a kid right now, it's like, bro, I don't know how you are around kids right now, bro. So you too excited to meet my kid, bro. Like, hold on, I'm gonna have to kill you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know.
Yeah.
It's
wait.
I treat kids like
so then, since we're talking about the dating and stuff, then how do y'all feel? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I can't hear.
Your kids. If you want them around me, take your time. Whatever. I'm gonna be over here.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want no bullshit. No smoke, no accidents. I don't want people to assume nothing. We're gonna take our time. We're gonna baby step into this. You know what I'm saying? Now, hopefully, you are bringing up your kids, through the whole talking process. If it's a mystery, you know what I'm saying, and your kids just disappear about the conversation, then I'm gonna have some red flags for you. I'm gonna definitely be looking.
What about disciplining?
Discipline?
That's
like how far? Well, I'm saying, do you like how far down the line though?
We got to be married.
Exactly. I was about to say, we got to be married.
We got to be married. We got to be married, because there's a conversation. I think, I mean, I haven't been through it, but in my head, there's a conversation, and then there's a level to disciplining, because it depends on what age they at. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And then at that point, you built a relationship with him, or him or her. You know what I'm saying? You built a relationship with my kids. Like, at the age my kids are at, by the time I don't, in my mind, I don't see marriage again, but who knows what God has for me. But when we get to that point where you discipline them, we done already sat down, you're committed. You in it. You know, I see the package, I want the whole package. I want you in them. So it's time for all us to sit down, and I'm not even sitting them down and saying this is your daddy. You know, I look at it and maybe the guy saying, hey, I realize that you guys are the package that comes with your mom, and I love your mom, and I want to be part of y'all life. Because maybe you're a guy and I didn't see it, that's one thing. But not even chastising my child. No, not until we in a committed relationship or something, or on our way to a marriage or something like that. No.
One thing I used to do when I was with my baby mom, because she had an older son, I didn't even speak on anything I saw with the son for like the first year. I didn't say shit. I just sat back and observed and played my role and got to know everybody and got to know the dynamics and just played my role. But in the same token, I was explaining what I would do with my kids, because I have boys too, and I had a son the same age. So I would explain to her my philosophy through how I raised my children. So after the year was up, and I was like, okay, I've been around long enough. I think I may be able to at least speak on something. What I would do I would go to her first. And I had to explain to her, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I saw, or what I could suggest, or this is what I would like to talk to him about. This is what I'm going to say, just letting you know, heads up. Are you cool with that? And she was okay with it. So then whenever I go and have a conversation with him, he couldn't come back and say, well, yeah, he was telling me this and saying this shit to me and saying that to me. Like, no, I already spoke to your mom, and I've already told her what I was going to tell you. Now, you can call me a liar, then we got another situation. But I think communicating with the mother and really using that sensitivity to your advantage is very important, because you can't just bulldog your way into discipline somebody. This is somebody's kid. You just gonna chastise them. That shit don't roll right with most people. It just don't fit right, even if it is right. You know what I'm saying? Your kid fucking up in the street and somebody say, hey, stop doing that. Even though they may be right, your initial instinct is gonna be like, oh, who said that? What you saying to my kid? What, you know what I'm saying? There may be a little bit of that. So you got to be very careful when you come to disciplining other people's kids, especially if y'all not know.
That's true.
Real strong relationship.
Right. Just because you a guy don't mean, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't think that you're a man. You come into a situation where ain't no man around, so you gonna establish your manhood, and you know I'm gonna show them this man is what a real man do it. Y'all gonna it's gonna be the new sheriff in town. No, nigga.
Right.
Hell no. They gonna run your ass about that motherfucker. Humble yourself. Yeah.
But no, I know with me, I was I think my wife she built the relationship with my girls first. You know what I'm saying? And I used to always say like, hey man, they gonna try you. You know what I'm saying? I know my girls got a lot of me in her, so it's gonna be like, yo, they gonna try you. You know what I'm saying? And see what they can get away with, And so, but like now, I know she's been around, especially my youngest one. She's been around her since she was probably about 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying? So with her being about to be 14, you know what I'm saying? Now she gets on her. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's been that long.
I'm so sick of him.
Man, I know, right? But she'll get on her. Like she don't, you know, I was like, yo, you better handle it, especially when she's out here with us in the summertime and everything. I'm like, I'm not here. I'm at work a lot of days, and so I'm like, hey, bro, it ain't no, hey, I'm about to call your daddy type stuff, Joe. You need to take care of that. You know what I'm saying? Because she gonna respect you.
You giving her the green light though. You giving her that
space. I'm giving that green light, and I even did that, and with my daughter too. Listen, I said to her, listen, bruh.
I'm not here.
What she says goes, just like if I said it. And if it's a problem, nigga, it's gonna be a problem like it was a problem with me. You know what I'm saying? So that was something that had to be established. But at first I was like, man, hey, you need to get on it. She's like, no, I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna build that relationship first and blah blah blah. And so I respect that part about that. That was cool. I said, but it's certain to a point. I'm like, yo, look, listen, she needs to understand that she's gonna respect you not just as you're the friendly kicking it parent, but she's understanding, hey, I'm gonna get in your ass like parent too. You know what I'm saying? So when you're wrong. And so because like this daughter has a different dynamic. She has her father's married, her mother's married now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a totally different dynamic. So it's like, man, how can I said you can play this one or two ways. You know what I'm saying? You can hate everybody, or you can like, yo, I'm that kid that got like 4 parents now. You know what I'm saying? I can almost get whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? But
come up is real if you're smart about it.
Man, and I told her like, and so I told her that, you know what I'm saying? We talked about it, but even when I know one thing, I'm gonna ask y'all how y'all feel about this, because I went through this part. So my daughter met my wife like while we were dating, you know what I'm saying, and she was around her a little bit until my mother kidnapped her. But we'll go into that later. So we was she took us to a whole other state from her. But but she but when she got
allegedly,
allegedly,
right?
But I was livid. I know you were. Bro, I was heated. I ain't never felt pain like that, Joe, like ever. To know that you can't talk to your child, bro, I was about to go to jail. Swear to God.
Don't fuck with no man and his kids.
But man,
the ones who actually want to be there.
Don't do it.
I was like,
a man to go ape shit, fuck with him and his kids. When he really care about his kid, fuck with him and his kids. He gonna lose his.
Take him.
But we were. So so my wife got to meet her, and she was around her a little bit, and so then we got married. Like I hadn't seen my daughter probably in over a year and a half. I haven't talked to her in a year. The summer I was getting married, she just popped back up in Chicago, and I'm like, my sister calls me like, hey Joe. And my sister calls me, and it's my daughter on the phone. I'm like, wait, what? How you on the phone? Like, you know, and she's like, hey, daddy. I'm like, wait, what are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? And push kind of stuff, whatever. She wanted to be in the wedding, all this other stuff. She remembered Kirsten and everything else like that. Boom, boom. I had to go back and forth with her mom about her being in the wedding and I said, I at least want to at the wedding. Now, Kaya wants to be in the wedding. Man, you know, it was a big deal. But we finally got through it, whatever. Now, some years later, her mom gets married. I ain't met the nigga, bro. Like dead ass, ain't met him. I'm in Chicago too. Ain't like I was out here. But I was like, you know, so I ain't even met the dude. I didn't have her, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like even that And even at the time, I was like, one time I came to pick Kai up, and the dude didn't even come down to even meet me. I'm like, bruh, y'all married now. You still ain't came down to come get me. No.
At least they
Yeah.
So this is. So I told my child, then the niggas that I am, I said, listen, I don't know this dude. You know, I'm praying that, you know what I'm saying, your mother chose a good dude for you to be around you. I said, but I'm gonna tell you like this. Anytime that you feel something's not right, you feel uncomfortable about a situation, I don't care what a mother says about, no, don't, you know, what goes on in this house stays in this house type of shit. I don't care about that. You are my responsibility. You are the only person I care about in this house. So if something's not right, you let me know. Yeah. I don't care what it is. I said, because I will be on the first thing smoking back to Chicago, and I kill everybody in this house. And that is just that. Like, I'm not even. No, I told her that. This is I had this conversation with her in the drive-thru in McDonald's. Swear to God. Like, I'm not even playing. I'm not even playing. That? This was probably a couple years ago. This was a few years ago. This is like right after they got married or whatever.
A lot of shit be happening in McDonald's, man. Why did you go down to McDonald's, man?
Hey, bro, I was like, hey, man, it was about to go down. I just told her, but that was my way of letting her know that I don't care who's there or whatever else. I'm your father, and I'm going to be there for you, period. You're what's important. I don't care about anything else. You are the one that I love. You are the most important thing to me in this place. So if something is not right with you, you let me know. It's okay to let me know, and I'll deal with it.
But I also think, now this is just my opinion, I think if you had an option or an opportunity, and rather it been when you picked her up or dropped her off, I think you should have, and maybe this is kind of an old school thing, I think you should have had to say, hey, you know, I don't know, I can't even think of what that boy's name is, but hey, tell him to come downstairs, or him and D'Amica come downstairs, and at least introduce yourself. Yeah, squeeze his hand real hard, you know, that nigga know.
Yeah, squeeze
not really. I'm not the one, you know what I'm saying? That's old school. You squeeze the hell out of his hand without saying it, you know. This one right here, you know.
Yeah.
If she called me,
all the conversation right
you
there.
know, yeah, exactly. That's
the conversation right there.
If she called me, it ain't good. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't got to say that. I think even for me, if my kid's father, not dating, but if there's somebody who is coming to the games on a regular, I'm just going to walk over and introduce myself. Hey, I'm David's mom. You are, hey, nice to meet you. Because I feel like even if he doesn't, you're going to be around my child.
Exactly.
And I need to let you know who I am, you know, in that type of situation.
I did do that in the parking lot. I did do that in the parking lot at the church. Hey, when I was bringing her back. We just happened to be at the same church, and I was dropping her off that weekend, and I walked her bags to the car. Here you go. Oh, what's up, guy? Yes, I am the dad.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? What's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? So you must be such and such.
Like, why you don't want them to know each other?
It's good to meet you. Like,
I think that's weird though too, because
I was gonna say that's weird.
Because you also have a girl. You know what I'm saying? When you putting a girl around another man, I would want to make her dad comfortable. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like, and then I'm gonna be honest with you. If you see something that I don't see, you know how some females they be so in love they don't see the signs or whatever. Hey, you know what? When she came with me, she was acting kind of funny. Now, do we all need to sit down and have a conversation? You know what I'm saying? It's just that's weird. That's
what we said. We did that. We did the same thing. Like, hey man, do we all need to sit down? Like, all four of us have a seat and chill out and let you know that this is the page that we're on. You know what I'm saying? And we're all gonna be on the same page about certain things. Like, but that's just something that you have to, so that's something that you have to deal with.
You got to build that respect between co-parents, man, because when you got situations like that, it would help if the other parent ushers in a situation where you can introduce the two of the parties. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's the
Yeah,
mother,
yeah,
say,
yeah.
hey, okay, this is who I'm with.
Yeah.
This is the father, this is who I'm
But
with.
they married.
Simple shit. Even if that's the case, I mean, it should be easy. It's easy for me to say, but
It should. That's what I'm tripping on. Wait a minute. Going downstairs, your daddy down there to pick you up. Oh, that's right. She got a stepdaddy. That ain't ever met the daddy. Okay, that's my little inside thing. I just saw
it's an awkward space that can be easily remedied. But if you don't do nothing about it, that space grows. It grows and grows.
I'm sorry. I threw a little shade there, Dennis. I'm sorry. I didn't want you to see me do that, but I did.
It's okay. Do you?
Yeah, you did. You did.
I ain't never. I mean, hey, that's your stepdaddy.
How do you feel?
Never met the daddy? What?
Hey Ray, so if you was dating again, you dating a single parent, how do you feel like your interaction with, at a certain point, your interaction with that baby's daddy or whatever the case may be, especially if it's a younger kid? Like if it's an older kid, like I said, Frank got an older kid, you know what I'm saying? 20 years old. I mean, it ain't really no interaction really that has to take place. He's grown man now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You ain't got nothing to do. You ain't got nothing to do with that 20-year-old. That 20-year-old, you ain't got nothing to do with him. Do you got anything to do with him?
You might have to fight him.
No, you ain't got nothing to do with him.
Right.
No,
you ain't saying much to that person. But as far as like what do you feel like? So say if it is like you've gotten to that, then they've had the person you're dating, and then their other parent has started having issues. We all know that you have baby mom, baby daddy drama around there. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like at some point is your place to step in to protect your woman, or you let that situation be because that's a baby daddy, baby mama situation? I'm not stepping in there.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna stay out of it unless it gets physical. If it gets physical, then it's a whole different ball game.
What if it gets disrespectful but not physical?
That's the same thing.
But
that to me. Depends on the level of disrespect. Depends on the level of disrespect. Because if you cuss all out of her
B, you gonna get in there?
Now that's when. Okay, now that right there, I'm stepping in at that point.
You know, trifling, beep.
Yeah, when it what? Yeah, if it's like that, then yeah. But it's like maybe having like some.
I know somebody who does. I ain't gonna say no names. Right.
Is he off camera?
Yes, he is.
That is right. No. Tori and Deshaun know what I'm talking about.
Say what? I was too busy laughing at this.
Oh man,
that's a weird situation to be a part of, though, man.
That's my little. I'm gonna have to tell y'all off camera who he is.
Oh my God!
Look, ain't it a message thing on here?
Oh, it is. Oh, y'all know I'm outdated. I probably ain't even got it.
It's a chat. No, there's a chat on there. But yeah, I mean, like, so you'll go ahead and stay out of that, depending on, like you said, depending on the level of disrespect or whatever.
It all depends on the level of it. I guess it depends on how intense it is, like, or the situation has gotten. Because I tend to want to stay out of that because if I'm not married to her, then yeah, it's I kind of want to stay away from it. But if it's to the point where it's extremely, like Kenita said, disrespectful, then I'm step in on behalf of my woman, because then I'm be like, hey nigga, we ain't finna do that, you know. And then like at that point you got to inject yourself. But anything less, if it's not really like super, like, I guess intense or whatever, or like maybe like if he ain't calling her the B word and all that type of stuff, then I'm gonna stay out of it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stay out of it. I'll put it like that. I'll stay out of it. But if it gets physical or he called her the B word, then I'm stepping in, and then I'm gonna, let the nigga know, like, hey, bro,
you gonna put your dukes up.
And when you say that,
the hairy knuckles.
When you say that, though, you're speaking about if it's a situation where you're actually physically there.
Okay.
Because if she comes back telling you, hey, this, that happened. In my opinion, everybody got their own sides of the story.
Right, 3 sides.
You're right. If you physically there, then I understand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But even if somebody, if she come back saying, well, this what happened, it's like,
if I'm physically there, I'm gonna try to like de-escalate the situation. I'm a peaceful nigga.
Right.
So I'm gonna try to bring it down.
Oh, so you a Martin Luther King ass nigga, huh?
Yeah. I'm Martin right now, dog. I'm Martin, okay?
So smarty art nigga over here.
I ain't gonna fight unless I have to.
Art nigga.
I ain't gonna fight unless I have to. All right.
Hey, Frank, I know you didn't do. You've dated a single parent before, man. Like, so, like,
how was business in the street like that?
we've dated single parents before.
We've all done that.
You know what I'm saying? We've dated single parents before.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
You
know what I'm saying? So, like, did you ever have any issues?
That came out in COVID-19 era.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got a dating quarantine.
You know what I'm saying? and everybody on fire. You used to worry about STDs. Now that nigga got the Rona.
Right. Hey, so have you ever had any issues with a baby daddy or anything like that? Any of that type of incidents like that, man?
And honestly, no, I haven't actually. A lot of them I didn't get a chance to meet, and they knew about me, but the father never will try to confront me, anything like that. You know, a couple of them will send little jabs, saying that to the mom. Don't have to send that to my son or whatever the case may be, or how to do my work. But I'm like, give him a middle finger, like, man, you know what I'm saying? If I plan on being here, it's gonna happen. Really? As far as like him ever confronting me or anything like that, that's never happened.
What about you, Dan?
No, I ain't never had no baby mama drama with nobody else. I've had my own baby mama drama, but
I ain't never like a bouncer. I'd be scared. I was like,
that's the football style right there. I need that
nigga. Right. You be like, hey, look, Dennis coming over. Don't call me. Don't call me. Yep, we taking the kids out. I'll call you when we get back. We taking the kids out.
Tell that nigga tell him what your nickname was in school, nigga.
Yeah, get mad. They know better. Yeah. So nigga, don't make me take it back, boy. Don't make me relax. Don't make me relax on you hoes.
Hey, Sugar called. He told me. Hey, Hitman. Hey, Sugar called me. He told me he was a get hit man. Hey, Martin, know that nigga?
Oh, man.
Hey, but
this question is for the guys.
Okay.
And I guess because how old are you?
45.
23.
45.
Just how old is Tori?
Oh, the Tori, he's the same age as me. He's older than me by 6 months.
Ain't making them faces at me.
I was just getting you back, boo. Just getting you back. I was gonna see how much you was gonna lie. They like it was on Instagram.
Lied a lot too.
So at this age, the odds. So at
30.
this age, the odds of you running into a female who don't have no kids is second to none. Okay.
Yeah, it's very rare.
So let me. The baby or something like that, or it's a lot of drama.
Oh, sorry.
So
you got 2 more coughs that you can put out.
Right.
Of quarantine.
When you dating a girl, when you dating a female and they got kids, are you a little bit more reluctant depending on the age of the kids, or depending on if she just got out of a relationship? Which one is the more harder thing to deal with, you think? That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
That was a really good question.
It's harder to deal with her just coming out of a relationship, or her having kids of a certain age?
Or her having kids of a certain age. And I say kids of a certain age because 9 times out of 10, if they're little kids, and so if there aren't babies or toddlers, the relationship is fresh. So like when Jason got with his wife, the kids were older,
right?
So she could more interact. But when you have the little kids, it's kind of one of them was right. With little kids, well, he got that Faith Evans Stevie J relationship. He good. In my head, if they got a certain age you don't have to. I ain't gonna say have to deal. But I think the dynamics with the other parent is different. Would you say you agree or no? I mean, cuz over his son is 20-something years old. They not really arguing over him no more. You know what I'm saying? But if he's dating somebody who just got out of a relationship, is that iffy? Or would you give it a chance just to say, not give it a chance, just to say, give it a chance to see where the person's head is at? Does that make sense what I'm asking? Because you got that serious look on your face.
Yeah, you ponder.
Who are you talking to? Tori?
Tori was for real.
Oh, like who?
Are you talking? I thought you was talking to Dennis. Oh,
I
was listening, but I thought you were talking to Dennis though.
No, that was a question to the guys.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, let's ask one question first. In dating a female, does it depend on how long she's been how long it's been since she was in her last relationship?
I'm gonna say
That depends.
I'm with Frank on that one. Yeah. I would
say
you
with Frank on that one?
Yeah.
I'm trying to let you be your own person. Let's go over here to Frank.
No, I actually agree with that though. Yeah, it really depends. I think that the relationship, like if she's out of fresh out of that, who's to say that she over that last situation? And I don't want to have to pay for that last nigga mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So it's
and it could also be a bad
shut up with me.
Be a bad pattern. You know what I'm saying? If she's jumping out of one relationship and she's jumping
to another.
Exactly.
Yeah, it could be a bad trend.
Yeah.
Then again, she could just be a free spirit that got her shit together and just don't really need a nigga, but she dating for fun and she hoping she bump into somebody worth it, but at the same time she just having a good time. And just
hey man, I ain't no fun time, nigga.
So
you gonna take it,
Nigga, I ain't no fun time, nigga.
I ain't no fun time, nigga.
I asked that question because I had a guy said this to me, and I was like, well, what are you looking for? And I know him. I've known him since high school. I said, well, what is it you looking for? And he was like, I want to be, maybe just make sure I got it right. I want to be that number 3.
Number 3.
First of all, I can't stand a nigga that talking codes, but that's neither here nor there.
That number 3. What that mean?
Number 3.
Right.
Because this is what he said.
Oh, forgive me. If that's some new slang or some shit, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm lost right now.
I wish I could be
like
more.
For real, want to be number 3, like 1, 2, and 3.
I'm finna explain it to you because when you get out of when a female get out of his perception is when a female gets out of a relationship, that first dude is the rebound guy. He go get all the hits and stuff from whatever she was in before. The second guy is her trial period. But that third guy, she's completely over everything and she's ready to commit again.
Okay.
Okay. I don't have that many years. I'm just saying. I don't have that time. Okay.
I want to be
you see, there go Uncle Son. Look. He in California. Right. Son.
What's up? What up, dude?
That was that big.
Right,
he's taller
man.
than me.
Clearly,
which ain't that hard to be, but he's taller than me. Yeah, that's okay though.
You
that's
said
okay.
it like you were saying something.
Man, you real funny, dude. You real funny. I need some sympathy on this call, okay? Snow bunnies.
Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one with snow bunnies.
Yeah, exactly. And all the pink girls following that nigga.
I need his number. I need to get some tips.
At what age should I let him see? What's that movie? What's the movie? Oh,
which one?
With Denzel and what's his name? Oh God, he played his daddy that's in jail. Come on, y'all.
Talking about
that's why he got
game.
He got game.
Yeah.
Should I let him see that movie?
Yeah, let him see it.
Yeah, let's see. It's a good movie. Good movie, man. Let them know what they are.
You learn a lot.
Let them know what they are.
There's a couple of things that he can learn from.
Yeah, you learn a lot.
Yeah. You can learn how to pump basketball, all that stuff.
Hey, man, when I started dating, man, when I started dating, Kirsten, like, man, I was just out like chilling, man. I didn't even care. Like, how we started dating was just random. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even like I was out chilling. I wasn't even. It was random, nigga. We wasn't even. literally, real talk. The first time I met her, I was with somebody I was going on a date with. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? When
I'm a dog. I'm a dog. I'm a dog.
No. I went to a movie. Look, I went to it. She was in a show. She's an actress, so she was in the show with my sister. We were going to support my sister at the show, and I'm like, yo, who the hell is this kid running across the stage, man? Because she looks so doggone young. I'm like, man, who the hell is this kid running across the stage, man? Like, bruh, she just stole the whole show.
Crazy
And I wasn't even thinking like that. I'm like, this is a kid.
Cows.
I swear to God. And so we was, I mean, and when we all started, and I still didn't even know how old she was. You know what I'm saying? Until we were, me and like, because she was always out with us, so we would go out. Man, me and my brothers and my sister, then we'd go out somewhere. Like, oh, she hang with my sister. She can't be that young. My sister ain't hanging with no kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, so that's whatever. So
I love the way you're trying to justify it.
No, dead ass. I'm just saying. I'm just giving y'all the real story.
You just want to make sure it was legal. That's as long as she legal.
That part. She was well beyond the legal years. I wasn't pulling no KO. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
So you know what I'm saying? But you know, we might favor a little bit, but I'm definitely not KO. Robert.
Robert.
But shut up, nigga. I mean, but I wasn't even. But at the time, I wasn't even doing it. I was just out, man, just chilling, man. I'm just like, I'm going on dates. It is what it is. I wasn't even looking for that. Like, I'm just like, man, whatever. I'm not even out there like that, looking for nothing serious. And then, like I said, we just started talking, and then randomly started talking over a damn Lakers and Celtics series, because you know what I'm saying. I was like, yo, we just tripping on it through a DM, through a DM in Twitter. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it started, and we was
same thing.
But we already knew each other. But we already knew each other, though. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even like, you know what I'm saying, a DM like that. But we already knew each other. So it was like, whatever. We started talking, went out. Next thing you know, hey, man, you know, we here. You know, 2 years later, we was getting married. You know what I'm saying? So it was like,
turn up.
You know, so
which I mean, I must say, totally shocked. Totally. Not that I never thought that you would get married.
I was shocked.
Not that I thought you wouldn't get married. I just was like, wow, Josiah get married? Like that.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
But I think the burden on you, I was just telling everybody when you walked away, y'all got that Faith Evans and Stevie J relationship. I think the burden on you is kind of different because your kids didn't live with you either. Yeah,
that's different. Yep, that was totally different.
because no matter what, I'm gonna, I ain't gonna say no matter what. I mean, I'm not gonna. My kids come first. You know what I'm saying? And if it means waiting on a relationship or waiting on whatever. I do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of harder when the kids are with you because you're very, you protective. One, because like I said, I got a boy and a girl, so I'm protective. And I'm more protective of my daughter. I just am. I can't afford a oops. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm like, so whereas I want somebody to be around, I'm not just saying somebody. I want a person that wants to be around, but I don't know.
Y'all got it hard. Y'all got it hard. Like women, man, it's a totally different aspect, man. It's so hard. Like when you talk about getting back in the game or dealing with that type of situation, because you got to figure out, like I said, because the 9 times out of 10, y'all the ones that got the child. You know what I'm saying? And so when talking about bringing somebody else around. And now you got, especially with all this that's going on now, like we didn't hear about a lot of, excuse me, Whitney, but you didn't hear about a lot of Chesters when we was growing up. We had songs about joking about it when we was kids. Mommy, please don't leave.
Chesters.
He's gonna put his hand on me. You know what I'm saying? So we had songs about it, but it really wasn't. We didn't talk about it, or it really wasn't that prevalent. You know what I'm saying? You didn't talk about it as much. Now the stuff that goes on, man, and it's out there. So. That got to be in the back of your mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can I leave my kid at home with this nigga? You know what I'm saying? Can you it's so much, and it's so much pressure, and I understand why some people say, you know what, I ain't getting married again. I ain't bringing it up. I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? Well, we get the opportunity, we get to go do the hell we want to do. But at the same time, even still, when I bring my child over here, I gotta make sure, because these women crazy too, man. You see these news, man, they be hanging up niggas and everything else. So you still gotta be conscious. We just don't have it at the forefront of our mind. Like, y'all gotta have it right there. Like, what is this gonna do with my kid? Because not only dealing with that, now you got to deal with another crazy baby daddy like myself. That if that nigga you chose did something to my child, I'm fucking everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no questions asked.
Okay.
No questions asked. I'm killing everybody in the building.
Dig that grave for both of y'all.
And as a man,
I'm killing
nobody lives.
Everybody. So,
as a man, I feel the same way when it comes to dating women.
It's a wrap.
I feel the same way when it comes to dating women. If you're gonna let a woman in your life, like, if somebody's gonna meet my kids, I'm not frivolous with that at all. Like, you got to earn that shit. Like, for real.
Right.
If you around them, you ain't gonna be all up in their face and, hey, how's it going? And hey, no. You gonna earn that shit. You ain't finna no, you ain't finna play that.
Right.
I don't want no problems. I don't want to have to kill you later. I don't want no issue.
Let me ask a question. When I when Kingston was 3 months, I left and went to, I pulled a situation. I left and went to Minnesota.
I did a situation.
But see, different stories though. Like,
dirty.
Like,
it was a little different reason, but
it probably was.
Dirty.
You're right, it is dirty, but what was he missing out on? I mean, come on now, what does it matter? Anywho, so I forgot what I was supposed to say.
He didn't care. He didn't want to pay child support.
That's right.
Dirty nigga.
So when Kingston would come visit him, because we had a parenting agreement set up that Kingston would come and visit him for some time or whatever. So I lived in Minnesota. He stayed in Chicago. So I would ask him, like, I don't know if you're seeing anybody seriously, but please just do not have, Kingston around anybody until you're like at least serious, and then maybe I meet them. Was I out of line?
No. I think that's very reasonable. That's reasonable. That's reasonable.
No.
And he lied and did it anyway. So listen. So then
I think. How old was Kingston?
He was a baby, like what, 5 months maybe.
I don't. Especially if that person is going to be. Is that person going to be around my child, quote unquote, taking care of my child? When I say taking care of, are they going to be changing my child's pampers? Are they going to be cleaning my child? Are they going to be feeding my child?
Right, exactly.
Yep.
So I don't understand why I have concerns. Like, he just, and it's like, I'm all the way in Minnesota. I can't even get to my baby if something was to go down because you decided to be, untruthful, you know what I'm saying? And now I can't trust you because it's just like, dang, I asked you to do something simple. You want to date, cool, do that, but find a babysitter for Kingston or something. Like, he don't have to be all up around all these women you're going to have. Like, it's not going down. Especially as he gets older. Like, you're not about to show him that. Like, no, that's not what I'm going to be working my behind off for. And you over there just being reckless, and we got to just deal with this little nigga now in the world, just acting like a nigga.
Now, I don't know, because even if you met and I'm not saying he dated a lot of women, but even if you met every woman that he dated, you're not going to get the fullness of them, really.
Let me tell you
so
something.
It's almost like saying, and like you say, he would have did it anyway, but it's almost like saying, hey, on his end, he probably not going to like you saying it, but I don't see anything wrong. I mean, if the guys feel differently, you can tell me. I don't see nothing wrong with saying at that age of a child, hey, I don't want a lot of women changing my baby, feeding my baby, if they're not equipped, or she ain't got no kids, or she don't really know what she's doing.
He did it anyway, though. And I called one day. I called one day, and he was trying to hold the phone different. And I was like, hey, I said, is she over there? he was like sitting there looking stupid, and I was just like, and I went in, y'all, like, y'all know me, I went in, like, she was every name in the book. He was too. I know. I was like, I'm sorry, but I wasn't, because I was just like, what is, like, come on, just please, this is what I'm talking about, communication. Let's work together. This does not have to be hard.
But at the end of the day, that didn't even really have anything to do with y'all, because in my opinion, it's all about the child right there. You know, if you don't know what you're doing around my child, then that's like, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I do not really care. At this age with my kids, I guess with a female, because the dynamics are different. I don't mind my ex, a female, being around my kids, because my kids, if they don't like them, they're gonna tell me.
Right.
I have one specific rule, and that is no other female combs my daughter's hair. Period. That's just the way it is. But it ain't just so much him. You couldn't do that if she went to her granddaddy house. The stepmama ain't supposed to be combing her hair either. That's just my thing. Don't nobody touch her hair, because if you come home bald head, I got to kill somebody. So that's just my rule. But I don't care if you take her and you go shopping and all that stuff. I'm not really tripping, because my kids at the age where they gonna come back and say, I don't care for her, or she said this, or I felt uncomfortable when she said that. You know, so the dynamics on my end are different. Whereas, like Jasmine said, on my end, on our end, right, you gotta kind of be like, I don't know, but
I have to at this point. I can't even I can't consume myself with it. It's just like I gotta pray over that situation, put it in God's hands, trust that He's okay at all times, and keep it moving. Like, if you gonna do that and you don't want to,
is he a responsible father?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Like, because I feel like I get a certain type of Chester, and then I feel like when they alone, like one time we went out to Kingston, got his hair cut, then we went to get something to eat, and Kingston being Kingston, but then like he was disciplining him, but then he kept like smacking him over and over and over and over. Like he just got, and I was like, when is it gonna end? Like, so I'm like, I don't know, like,
okay.
And then Kingston don't have no type of respect for him, so I don't know what they be doing over there.
And how old is Kingston?
He's 3.
They be fighting it out.
I think he was like, well, I don't be having no problems when I got Kingston. Yeah, because you probably don't ever have him.
Let me ask a question. Wait, because Jasmine, your son is what, just turned 1?
Yeah.
You haven't hit it yet. Dennis, how old? You got a son, right?
Yeah, I got 3 boys.
Okay, so you've been through that toddler phase. I think I don't know if, and I don't know if men handle the toddler phase like women do. Like, I think women expect it. They call it the terrible two. Yeah. I don't think men handle it as well as we do. We expect the terrible twos.
We don't got the patience for it.
Yeah, but I mean, I was a little bit.
Hey, sit your ass down, boy.
That'd be me. I talk to kids like he a 35-year-old grown man.
Go sit down somewhere.
Clean out. You better get over there and sit down. I gotta be that person.
I was popping his down before 2, so when he got to 2, he was looking over his shoulder like, what? Huh? What? Here she come. Yeah. You know, I was talking through walls by that time, so he was like, how do she see me? Yeah, so I just think men don't have the patience that we do for that toddler.
He don't have no issues with Kingston. I'm like, I doubt it. Because you ain't gonna have the patience. He claims it only happens in front of me. He claims it only happens in front of me, but I'm like, if he gonna do it in front of me, that means he does it when he ain't in front of me. I'm sorry.
Not necessarily.
He might just do it. He might do it because he you know, even at that age, they can feel something between you two. Now, a lot of times, I can say I'm a witness to this. When you think your kids don't know, they know. They know.
Right.
So there's tension there. Even though you say he's 3 and y'all having these conversations where you like, he don't understand what he's saying. Yeah, he know. Or if you say, if he's getting chastised by dad and you be like, and you say, stop, or you say, boy, come here. He knows that my protection is in mom. So he can see that dynamic at 3. It almost shock you. But he can see that dynamic at 3. He can hands. Yeah, well, some of them just know not to play with mama, but I try daddy. You know?
First of all,
I'm not with daddy all the time.
First of all, the kids in their family, nigga, 3 means they are 42 years old. They 3 going on 42 because every 42. Kid in this family old as hell.
Age. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm just saying. All these kids in this family, Joe, I'm telling you, they are like, I swear to God, they all been here before. Every last one of them. Like, it doesn't like every last one of our old ass. You sit there and watch, they all act like they're old. They all act like your grandmother. I swear to God. Every last one of them.
Babies.
All of them. They do this. All of them are the same. It's so funny. Like they are the oldest, and Whitney don't even lie. They are the oldest people.
I don't know what's wrong.
Kingston act
The
like
oldest
he act
kids.
like Pawpaw. My son sit up here and act like his father. He be sitting up here watching. This nigga be sitting up here watching the news. I be like, this nigga.
Like this. I saw him today. He was sitting up there chilling this morning.
Chilling, watching the news.
I said, JJ, and then he'll look over at me and he'll turn back around. I said, I like your nerve. Old ass man.
Your son do look like he ought to be like on Good Morning America or something.
He be wild, man.
A cup of Joe.
You come in the door, you like, hey, so you know they opening up Georgia next week, right? Because they gonna have it. I saw it on the news early. You like, nigga. He's like, bruh, like this little old listen, man. I promise you, all these kids, man. Oh my God, these dudes, so they kids don't count, man. These kids in this valley, man. They all
But they don't count.
They don't. So you can't. They're not regular kids standards. So like Kingston at 3. Kingston was looking through his daddy at like 6 months, and it was like, bruh, I know this old ass. This nigga don't.
Different type of breed.
Well, let me. So okay. So are y'all dating during COVID or no?
Man, this dude on Facebook talking about we can quarantine date. Shut up. You're blocked. I don't even know who you are. Quarantine date. I look popped right now. I just took my weave out. Like, no, I ain't quarantine dating nobody.
I just took my weave out.
Right.
I told y'all to give me a week in advance.
Put that weave back in then.
They follow simple instructions.
You better go on that quarantine date.
No.
I ain't gonna lie. Just I was like, I want you on the thing. He was like, it's Tuesday good. I said, whatever, nigga. I'm not.
I know. So I was like,
yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on the braid shop to open up. I ain't gonna be like this too long.
Right.
I ain't gonna be like this too long. Shoot. So, well, no, dating is hard, ain't it, Tori?
Man, heck yeah.
Y'all crazy. Tori, would you like me to hook you up? Want to go to crazy? Date?
Women, y'all crazy. Thank you.
Why do we all? Are you serious?
I ain't gonna say all y'all. Oh, you know what? I ain't gonna say all y'all.
Hold on. Wait. Before we get on there, hold on. Wait, stop. What? Hey, I want to thank y'all for checking out this episode of this break room right here. You know what I'm saying? It was a good conversation. I want to thank my man D on there from Get This D. Y'all check out that podcast, man. Hey, man, he doing big things over there. My girl Whitney, my girl Tanita, thank y'all for coming on here, man. We appreciate y'all for showing. And, we'll catch y'all on the rebound. We got some more stuff coming up. So,
yes, sir.
Tune in, niggas.